Peace. What's going on, everybody? Give everybody a chance to tune on in before we start building on the topic for the day. Hopefully, everybody is having a wonderful Wednesday thus far, man. Keeping it peaceful, productive, positive, powerful, prosperous, all of those good things, man. So I'm going to give everybody a chance to tap in before we start building on this topic for the day, man. Important subject for the day, focusing on that health and wellness. Got to get healthy out here, my peoples. So again, man, hopefully everybody's enjoying this day, man. March 3rd. Today's 3rd, so we dealing with the understanding, which is the best part. Be Wait, peace, what's going on? Beautiful Goddess Keys, peace, what's going on with you, Queen? How everybody living? Thunder Scorpion, peace, what's going on with you, my brother? How everybody holding up? How everybody living? Focusing on that generational health today. We talk about generational wealth. We trying to pass down these assets. Look like it's a delay on my end, man. Let me get this thing situated here, man. Terenzo, what's going on with you, my brother? Ricky, what's going on? Yeah, we talk about generational wealth all the time, but we're not necessarily talking about generational health. Mahogany Honey, peace, Queen, what's going on with you? John Sims, man, what's going on with you, my brother? We tapped in. TZ Frank, you say, what is my best source of spirulina? Man, let me find this brand for you real quick. Because I get this powder. Let me see if I can find the brand where I get it from. I think it's like, let me see. Let me see if I can find this brand that I get. Of course, look like it's not pulling up right now. Look like it's something called, I think it's Earth Circle Organics. That's a good one for the spirulina. That's a pretty solid one. Yeah, the Earth Circle Organic. That's a pretty good one for the spirulina. But yeah, man, like I was saying, man, we talk about that generational wealth. We talk about passing down, you know, the money, the assets, all that good stuff, man, the property, all of that good stuff to the future generation. But we never talk about health. We never talk about passing down healthy habits to the next generation. Sweet Tea, Tavine, what's going on? We never talk about passing that health down to the next generation. We never do that. We always talk about the ailments and diseases that run in our families that we pass down to the next generation. But we never talk about breaking that cycle, passing down health, passing down better habits to the next generation. We never talk about that. We never focus on that. And I'm going to give y'all the book for today too, man. It's a powerful under the radar book. A lot of people don't know about this joint, but it's called Alkalize or Die. Alkalize or Die. Pretty powerful book here. If you're looking for a book on alkaline living, this is a good book. Alkalize or Die. Pretty solid book, man. Ain't gonna take you nothing to read. Pretty solid book, man. Alkalize or Die. Go ahead and grab that book, man. Add it to the arsenal. Alkalize or Die. And that's the focus, man. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. That's where I'm kind of headed. Man, this thing is straight to land on my end, man. What's going on here? But that's where I'm kind of headed with the nutrition, man. I'm going toward the alkaline lifestyle, man. Live foods, electric living. So I'm about to just take it to the next level. I'm gonna take it to the next level when it comes to this health and fitness, man. Let me know if I'm delayed on y'all end, man, because my my camera tripping on my end. So let me know if y'all hear me pretty good. Miss Donnie, peace. What's going on? But yeah, we tapping in, man. And right now, King Blunt Roller, what's going on? Right now, I'm focusing on How to Eat to Live. I'm reading part 1 of that. I read part two. So I read part two a long time ago. That's when I actually eliminated pork and all of that, man. I had forgot to get to book number one on how to eat to live. So now I'm just reading through book number one. And I got another joint. That I want to show y'all, man, along with How to Eat to Live. This is another good one right here, man. The Dr. Sebi Bible by Kerry Williams. So this is another good one, another good joint. So I done just dropped 3 health books on you, man. The Dr. Sebi Bible, that's a good one. Got a lot of Jews on there in regards to Dr. Sebi Way of Life. Then How to Eat to Live. How to Eat to Live, this book 1. And then Alkalize or Die, book number 3. Get all 3 of these books. All 3 of them. CC, Denise, Peace, what's going on with you queens? But yeah, it's time to pass down. It's time to pass down these better habits, man. When I was just doing the knowledge, when I was just doubling back on Elijah Muhammad, man, with the How to Eat to Live, it just made me think about some things and put some things into perspective, man. And he was just talking about, he talked a lot about fasting, you know, eating a 1 meal a day or eating 1 meal every 48 hours and things of that nature in order to basically prevent disease or reverse conditions. And a lot of times, when you bring up certain things like that, man, we have been so programmed to just think that we need to overly eat. And it made me think about just 3 meals a day and how often that was taught. And now it's not even 3 meals a day. Now they telling you to eat 5 or 6 small meals a day. AO 1212, what's going on? Lindell, Peace, what's going on? But now the popular information is to convince people that they need to eat 5 to 6 small meals a day. Now, here was Elijah Muhammad telling you to eat 1 meal a day, and everybody was looking at him crazy. Everybody was looking at him crazy. So I was like, all right, he was able to come through at that particular point in time and tell people to eat 1 meal a day, when back then the popular notion was 3 meals a day, and everybody looked at him crazy. But he had a clean bill of health, eating a 1 meal a day. Now they give you that in the form of intermittent fasting, like I talked about. But now it's 5 or 6 small meals a day. When I went to college, 5 or 6 small meals a day. Every other person you talk to that give you advice, 5 to 6 small meals a day. They're going to tell you to eat every 2 to 3 hours. Try to get you 5 or 6 small meals in to boost the metabolism. They say when you boost the metabolism, that helps burn fat. So they are encouraging people to eat a lot more. When you start encouraging people to fast, then they tell you that it's counterproductive. They tell you that it won't work. They literally have convinced people that eating 1 meal a day and things of that nature won't actually work and it's counterproductive. But they have convinced people that it's productive to eat 5 to 6 small meals a day. And within the 5 or 6 small meals a day, you probably about to eat a lot of toxic foods. So please tell me and convince me how that makes sense. If every 2 to 3 hours I am eating toxic foods that take about 8 hours to run its course. If I'm eating food that take 8 hours to run its course every 2 to 3 hours, please let me know how my digestive system is becoming healthy. Please let me know how my body is becoming healthy. When every 2 to 3 hours I'm consuming toxic foods. I'm not consuming alkaline foods. I'm consuming toxic foods every 2 to 3 hours. And I'm supposed to believe that that's doing something beneficial for me and my digestive system. The digestive system, like I said, is it's probably the most overworked system that we have. We never give that digestive system a break. Hence why fasting is peace. Hence why fasting is recommended. Definitely recommended. King Blunt Roller 489. Gallstones, man. Just do you some fasting. Do you some fasting, man. Go on like a little a fruit fast, man. A fruit smoothie fast. Get rid of the gallstone. Like a little fruit smoothie fast, or you can do green smoothies, whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do. Go on the fruit fast or a green fast, or you can go water, man. Just get your detox on. Just get your detox on. Mahogany, note, 24-hour fast once a week. That's beneficial. That's prolonging your life. That's expanding your life. And like I said, I recently had a few clients do it, 24-hour water fast, and they love this so much that they want to fast every week now. I mean, fasting, again, ancient technique to cure all ills and ailments. But it's like now they try to make us run away from fasting. They've actually tried to make it seem like we need food more than we need water type deal. And then when they give you the water, they try to put all type of nonsense in the water. They try to give you different, like unhealthy versions of a water, putting things that don't need to be in the water instead of drinking some pure, clean, alkaline spring water type deal. So they made us value food over water when really you need that water more than you need that actual food. But we just overconsume, overindulge. Every 2 to 3 hours, get your 5 to 6 meals in. Like, come on now. And look at the foods that they're going to recommend that you eat. They're going to tell you to eat protein. They're going to tell you to eat protein at every meal. And the protein they talking about is either some meat or like some eggs. They're going to tell you to try to get that in at every meal. Come on now, that's killing your digestive system. It's killing the digestive system. That's tearing you up. It don't get more toxic. It don't get more acidic than like eggs and meat. It just don't get more acidic than those foods on top of the cheese. And these are the foods that they are recommending that you eat in your meals every 2 to 3 hours. Cheese, eggs, meat, the most toxic foods, the most acidic foods. Yet they have convinced us that eating that way every 2 to 3 hours is healthy. Come on now. Yeah, Lorenzo, that 5 or 6 small meals is the new thing now. It used to be that the big 3, breakfast, lunch, dinner. Now it's like, nah, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then you want some in between. Oh yeah, Tavon, no doubt, man. They making money off of that, man. Just to show you how psychological everything is, the fact that people are willing to sit up here and watch other people consume food or taste food, that lets you know the fascination, the addiction that we have, the obsession that we have with food, man. We got to break the addiction. We got to break the obsession, man. We addicted to a lot of foods. And that's when you bring up fasting, that's what you come across. A lot of people realize that it's an addiction. My clients, when I had them fasting, they was like, they really wasn't hungry, but they were just thinking about food. And I'm like, you never really hungry. It takes a few days for you to actually reach the point of starvation. So if you just consume something 15 hours ago, listen, you not hungry. Your body has a lot stored that it has to go through before you actually reach starvation mode. So even with Elijah Muhammad talking about eating once every 24 hours, like that's right and exact. Because by that time, your body has absorbed everything from the previous meal. Now it's time to get you another meal in, as long as it's well balanced. As long as it's a well-balanced meal, eating once a day can be very beneficial. Like I said, as long as it's well-balanced. Now I would kind of improvise. I would say get you one solid meal in and probably 2 smoothies. So I would probably take his 1 meal a day and transform it to 1 solid meal and then like 2 smoothies and make sure you're getting your water in. I think that'll be the remixed version of the 1 meal a day. That'll be very beneficial. And that'll do wonders for your health. And then like every so often, just go 24 to 48 hours with nothing but like water. And that'll transform your life, expand your life, increase your lifespan. And that's what it's about, increasing the quality of your life. You don't want to be one of those individuals. You got a lot of people that say my grandparents, well, they ate pork and they lived to 85, 90. Yeah, they made it to 85 or 90, but what type of life did they live in regards to quality? I'm not trying to be on this earth 85 to 90 years, bad quality living though. Spending the last 30 years of my life on all type of medication with a cane, barely can walk. I'm not trying to spend my last 30 years on this earth like that. I'm trying to spend the last 30 like I spent the first 30. And that's possible if you take care of yourself. Trust me, we got plenty of examples. You can look up on YouTube and find some raw foodists, raw vegans, fruitarians, breatharians. You can find them and they be in their 75s and their 80s and they look like they 30 and they out here can outdo people in their 20s and their teens. So this is possible. This is possible. They told you that you break down naturally as you get older. We reversing that. We reversing that. Yeah, Ricky, I would say get one solid meal, man, and two smoothies. I would say try that out, man. That'll do wonders for your health. And then make the smoothies fruit-based. You don't really need anything else in them smoothies. Make them fruit-based. Guarantee you will see your health transform and evolve. Yeah, AO. And the thing about it, too, this the thing about it. We always got excuses. We always attributing our bad habits to something instead of just changing them. I can look back and I can blame a lot of things. I can blame my bad habits on a lot of things. But what's the point? What's the point of me pointing my finger and say, well, the reason why I'm eating like this is because of something that happened in my upbringing? Now, the fact is, I know that the way that I'm eating is garbage. What am I going to do to break this cycle so I won't pass it down to the next generation? Man, y'all see these kids younger and younger. They having ailments that you used to get when you was a lot older. You seeing people in their 20s talking about they diabetic in their 20s, yo. You seeing people, I know people in their 20s that have passed away of cancer. Like this is not normal. And we sweeping this stuff under the rug like it's normal and like it's nothing that we can do about it. Man, there's nothing normal about somebody being in their late 20s, early 20s, dying of cancer. It's just not normal. There's nothing normal about you being in your 20s and your 30s talking about you got diabetes, type 2. It's not normal. It's not normal at all. You taking all these meds and you 30. You ain't even 40 yet and you on all the medication. High blood pressure, hypertension, high cholesterol in your 30s. And somebody that convinced you that you got to be on these meds for life and you think that that's normal. Think that that's normal. And another thing, these doctors are out here garbage, but we already know this. I done dealt with clients that their doctor, listen, I dealt with a client that just recently told me that her doctor told her don't fool with like the people talking about sea moss, elderberry, olive leaf extract, black seed oil, all of that good stuff. I have a client where her doctor said, hey, don't listen to all that fake nonsense. Just go work out. What? Like this is the type of advice that doctors are out here giving. And people trust this advice because people trust their doctors. But your doctor out here telling you that sea moss and all of this type of stuff is fake, is nonsense. All you need to do is work out. You cannot outrun or outlift bad eating habits. You can't. You can't. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. If you eating trash, but yet you working out and you lifting, you still not doing it. You have got to change the way that you are eating. You have got to do that. You have got to do it. It is so pointless to just go work out but not change the way that you eat. It is pointless. At that point, the only thing you really doing is relieving stress. That's the only thing that you're doing. You're not improving your health at all. If you just working out, lifting weights, running, but not changing the way that you eating. If anything, you probably setting yourself up to like faint and fall out while working out. You gonna die while working out if you don't change the way that you eat, man, because you are really straining your heart. So you cannot be allowing the doctor to tell you things like that, man. No. These doctors, like most of them, 85, 90% of them do not know what they're talking about when it comes to nutrition, especially when it comes to holistic health and the herbs and the supplements and things like that, man. They really lack the knowledge in regards to that particular aspect of health. So I definitely would not be listening to a doctor when it comes to sea moss. They don't know anything about sea moss and elderberries, man, and olive leaf extract, black seed oil, all of that. They don't know anything about these herbs and these supplements. Nothing. That's not their line of work. They were not encouraged to study these herbs and these supplements. They just were not. They just know how to say, you got a headache, take this aspirin. That's what they know how to do. They know aspirin, ibuprofen. They know those type of medications. So come on, these doctors out here, and if you a doctor and you listening, you wrong for doing that type of stuff, man. Don't be doing that. Don't be discouraging people to get the sea moss. Like, come on now. Just telling them all they really need to do is exercise, but not really need to pay attention to what they put into their body. That's some dangerous advice. Dangerous advice. Yeah, Terenzo, I still pretty much got that high metabolism. My metabolism is still pretty much high, which is why I can almost eat anything, but it won't look like it. But that don't mean I'm going to eat anything. Thunder Scorpion, and people don't understand, it's science behind fasting and energy. That actually, fasting actually releases the adrenaline. So it boosts your adrenaline, I should say. So when you fast, it boosts your adrenaline, which means that gives you more energy. And a lot of people do not know that about fasting. So when people hear about fasting, they think that they're going to be lacking energy. They're going to be weak. They're going to be hungry. Quite the opposite. Quite the opposite when done properly. You got to understand, it's a proper way to fast. It's a certain way that you got to do it. When you ease into a fast and you break the fast properly, then that's when you reap the benefits. But when you act like you on death row and you trying to eat your last meal, trying to eat all the food that you have ever loved in life, then try to fast, then no, you're going to feel horrible. You're going to feel garbage. You're going to feel like you're going to faint. That's when you start having all of those bad feelings. But when you have a light day, eat a lot of greens and fruits before the fast, then that's when you start feeling a lot better while fasting. So it's all about how you ease into the fast, and it's all about how you break the fast. A lot of times people eat whatever they want to eat, then call themselves waking up the next day like I'm not going to eat anything. That's dangerous, actually. That's dangerous. You don't want to do that, especially if you had a very acidic day the day before. That's dangerous. That's very dangerous. Yeah, Tavon, and some foods take longer than 6 to 8 hours. Hence the meat. So the meat can sit in your system for almost like a day. You getting in a double digit with the hours. So imagine on top of that, you eat meat at every meal. Yo, like your insides are rotten. Your insides are rotting if you are consuming meat at every meal. They even tell you, honest people that consume meat will tell you that you're supposed to eat meat if you eat it like once every other day. It's like once every 2 days. Literally. Miss Donnie, for carrying women, no. Fasting would not be recommended. Nope. Water fasting is not recommended for carrying women. That's one of the times where fasting is not permitted, because at this point, when you are a carrying woman, now you got to be supplying yourself with the essential vitamins and minerals, all the nutrients that's needed. So when it comes to that, fasting, water fasting is not beneficial. You could get your smoothies in and get all your vitamins and minerals, or you could do like some fruit and veggie fast, because you can pretty much get all your essential vitamins and minerals through fruit and vegetables with a little bit of seeds and things of that nature. So you could do something like that. But a straight water fast wouldn't recommend it for a carrying woman at all. Not just water. Because at that point, you got to supply your body with the nutrients that it needs. But you can get the nutrients that you need from fruits and veggies, a little bit of seeds, maybe throw some beans in there a little bit. Yeah, Ricky, water is important in regards to just detoxing the body, removing the waste, flushing the system out. Water is crucial, but we tend to not drink enough. Half your body weight in ounces a day. How many people legit drink half of their body weight in ounces of water a day? At least that. You can work your way up to a gallon, but I would say no more than a gallon. I would say no more than a gallon, but at least half your body weight in ounces. A lot of people don't even get that. Hey, yo, yeah, they recommend way too much protein, man. We, as the book says, we are proteinaholics, and that's dangerous. That's dangerous in regards to diabetes, and that's dangerous for the kidneys. It's just dangerous. You do not want to overconsume protein. But they have made us, we have become fascinated with protein. So we need protein at every meal. They have told you to eat a decent amount of protein at every matter of fact. They tell you when you wake up in the morning, eat some protein, eat a lot of protein. Protein, protein, protein. That is what they are preaching. So when I came across information that opposed that, I was like, is going against the status quo. Let me pay attention to it. This may make some sense. But we so fascinated and addicted and obsessed with protein, and that's dangerous. Hence why we have all of the ailments that we have. People don't realize, what people don't realize, and what I find funny is when I start talking about not eating meat, not eating the dairy products, like eliminating alcohol, when I start talking about the things that the average American does, and people say, oh, we need this, that, and the third, or we can't be eating like that, we can't be going vegan, we can't be going plant-based. I say, well, okay, how does the average American eat? What does the average American eat? The average American eats the foods that I'm telling people not to eat. So it's like, we got to make this make sense. If we need all of these foods, and yet we are consuming these foods in abundance, why are we so sick? Common sense should tell you, as Elijah Muhammad said in this book. He said it in this book. Elijah Muhammad said, listen, the way to cure yourself of an ailment is to stop eating that in which is making you sick. Stop eating the food that is making you sick. That is what Elijah Muhammad said. Stop eating the food that is making you sick. So if you want to cure yourself from an ailment, stop eating the foods that make you sick. It is just that simple. It's just that simple. So if we populating all these hospitals with all these cancers, diabetes, heart disease, and we look at the average American plate, common sense would tell me in order to prevent that or reverse it, then I need to not eat what the average American is eating. That is common sense. But most Americans like, nah, we need that chicken. We need that pork. We need these eggs. If we need them, then why is it killing us? Why are we all in the hospitals with cancers, heart disease, diabetes, if we need these foods? Make it make sense. How is it destructive, me telling people to stop eating that in which is making them sick? Doesn't make any sense. You got to make that make sense. I'm telling people to stop eating the most popular foods because we've been consuming these popular foods, and look where it's leading us. Look where it's leading us, man. Savon, man, I tell people all the time, man, crabs and shrimp, like I tell people to pretty much stay away from them, especially when we start talking about the pollution in regards to the water and just the mercury, and what that does to the brain. That can do some damage to the brain. And the reason why I tell people to watch the seafood is because when you go pescatarian, you tend to overdo the seafood. Why? Because again, we so fascinated and obsessed with meat and protein that we think we got to eat it every day at every meal. Like if you're gonna go pescatarian, man, eat the seafood once every 2 days, not every day. Especially not with meal. Beautiful Goddess Keys, y'all peep that on the book. 5-day water fast, man. You about to be feeling powerful. You about to be out here floating. I got some clients on the fruit fast today. Oh, Mahogany, you got it. You finna, hey, 5 days finna be easy. Lightweight. Justin, peace, what's going on? Yeah, Delano, everything is essentially, or everything should essentially be a way of life. Everything. That's why I don't really too much like the term, like I don't like diet at all. I really don't like to use the word detox. People say they going on a detox. Like I really don't like that word because everything essentially should be made into a way of life. You should be doing these things consistently, not just in order to reach a goal. So a lot of times when people find out that I'm fasting, they like, what you fasting for? Like I shouldn't be having to fast for anything other than I want to improve and elevate my health, or I just want to be healthy. I just want to look out for my digestive system. Why I got to be fasting? Because I'm trying to lose weight. See, that ain't what it's about. Sometimes I tell my people, don't focus on the scale. Focus on how you feel. You want to be doing things that allow you to feel good, feel great. Because when you focus on feeling good, feeling great, being the best version of yourself in regards to just how you feel, everything else is going to fall in line. You're going to get that natural weight that you're supposed to be at when you focus on feeling good. When you focus on feeling good, you're going to focus on putting the right foods in your body. You're going to focus on getting the right amount of water. So I tell people to focus on how you feel. You want to feel good. You want to feel good. You want to feel light. So when you focus on the feeling as opposed to like the scale the number on the scale. That's going to work wonders for you. That's going to work wonders for you. Justin, that's light work. That's light work. You got it. Lindell, man, they had us bamboozled with Subway when they came out and said eat fresh. And they showed the Jared dude supposedly losing weight from eating the Subway. So you know how they tricked us into that. That was trick knowledge. So when people go to Subway, they thinking that they eating fresh. You got all of that. You got all of that stuff in between some white bread, in between some unhealthy bread. And you thinking that you eating fresh. Come on now. That's how they get us. King Blunt Roller, 489. Appreciate that donation, my brother. Uniquely Amani, Peach Queen, what's going on? Nick, what's going on? Yeah, Tavon, and this is becoming more common. You starting to see 6, 7-year-olds look built like they 15, 16 out here. Like they packing on massive weight. And you can't blame the child. See, when you're 30 and you 40, then you looking at the person like, man, what you doing? You need to go work out. You need to go exercise. But when that child is 5 and 6 and they overweight, you can't blame that 5 and that 6-year-old. Somebody is feeding this 5 and 6-year-old. You got to look at the parent. So this is where everything starts, man. We get these bad habits from the upbringing, from the parents. Parents are passing these bad habits down. So again, we talk about these diseases that we pass down. Only thing being passed down are bad dietary habits. That's it. That's it. We can easily break the cycle. You think heart disease run in your family. No, the bad habits that lead to heart disease run in your family. Y'all keep passing down these bad habits. Y'all keep passing down the habit of eating processed foods. You keep passing down the habit of eating the meat. You keep passing down the habit of eating these eggs, eating the animal protein and all of that. That's what's being passed down. Not heart disease, not cancer, not diabetes. That ain't what's running in your family. It's the bad habits. That's what's running in the family. Point blank, period. We change the habits up. Guess what? We're going to reverse a lot of these conditions that we think are genetics, that we think are hereditary, I should say. We'll break a lot of those. Break a lot of those. The diabetes that you think run in your family, once you change your habits, guarantee you it'll stop running in that family. Guarantee you. V77 Scorpio, peace. What's going on? Thunder Scorpion, kids being diabetic, it happens via the parent. I did some knowledge in regards to what a mother eats while she's pregnant and how that can lead to certain conditions in the child. So in the womb, if you eating unhealthy, you setting that child up for diabetes, cancer, heart disease. That's a whole new level of accountability. And a lot of mothers ain't gonna take that accountability and that responsibility. But while you in the womb, man, you literally, while the child is in the womb, you literally out up for failure. Literally. So that's why it's important to make sure you eating clean while you're pregnant, man. That is a very important time to be making sure you are eating the proper foods. It's a very important time. Very important time. Because I got the book How Not to Die, man, and that's what they did. They did the knowledge to some man, I forgot what happened. I think they had miscarriages, man, but they did the knowledge to the babies that didn't even make it out the womb. And they was talking about how destructive their insides were before they didn't even get a chance to live, but they were already disease ridden based off of the condition of the mother. So that's how deep this thing goes. Montel, peace, what's going on? B77 Scorpio, you got it. It's light work, my brother. Light work. Terenzo, yeah, fasting does it. And Jarrell, I don't know if you heard. Oh, man, every time I be about to respond to something, I lose it. But Jarrell, yeah, the proper way to go about that. And if you get a migraine or if you get a headache, that's partially normal if you're not used to fasting. Because what's happening is your body is cleansing itself, what we call refinement. So when you fast and your body is cleansing itself of the toxins, like you got all of the toxins flowing through the bloodstream. So it depends on how toxic you are. So if you very toxic, very acidic, and you do like your first fast, you're going to have headaches. You may have diarrhea. You're going to feel terrible. But that's all a result of, or a reflection of, your diet. So the cleaner you eat, the easier it becomes to fast. So when you initially start fasting, it's going to be rough because you probably are toxic. You probably are overly acidic. So every time that you fast, you're going to get headaches and all of that. It's normal. It's natural. So you got to ease your way into fasting. So 2 days before you fast, eat some light meals, man. Get you some vegetable broth. Eat some salads. Eat some greens. Eat some fruits. Ease your way into the water fast. Don't just say after eating 3 garbage meals one day, wake up the next day and say, I'm going to go on a fast. That's incorrect. Or you can start by doing like smoothie fast or juice fast. That's another way to ease into fasting. Because like I said, your body is refining itself, cleansing itself. So a good way to help neutralize that is to supply the body with nutrients that it needs via like juicing or smoothies. So that's another good way to ease your way into fasting. Don't just cold turkey do a water fast. Start with fruit fast, smoothie fast, green fast. Those are 3 good fasts to do. Don't just automatically wake up one day and be like water for 24 hours. Sometimes a water fast can be deadly if not done properly. So I say the first fast that you should start doing are like smoothie fast and juice fast and then fruit fast. Then work your way up to water fast. So you want to clean yourself up. You want to give your body a chance to clean itself up and give your body what it needs before you start water fasting. TZ Frank, I ain't allowing no doctor to tell me nonsense. Matter of fact, I don't remember the last time I even went to the doctor. But I'm definitely not about to allow them to tell me some nonsense. D Monty, what's going on with you, my brother? V77 Scorpio, man, you never too skinny to fast, bro. Especially 24 hours. Especially 24 hours. I'm not the biggest person in the room. I fast all the time. And fasting is a way to preserve muscle mass as well. It's a lot of myths surrounding fasting. You fast for 24 hours, you're not losing muscle. You actually preserving your muscle mass. So a lot of people don't understand that with fasting too. Elijah Muhammad was definitely not a big guy, and he was a proponent of fasting. So you never too skinny to do it, fam. Never. Elijah Muhammad was nowhere near big. I'm nowhere near big. Live and die by fasting. I don't fast as heavy as that. Like I don't go on 7-day fast, but 24-hour fast ain't gonna do nothing to you. That ain't gonna kill you at all. And then once you start back eating, you're gonna put some of that weight right back on. But when you start doing 24-hour fast, like that preserves your muscle mass. So that actually makes you lean out and it makes you more muscular. People don't know that. People don't know that. Terrell, peace, what's going on? Ricky, man, listen. Meat takes all meat takes a long time to run its course. So if you eat meat at every meal, we got problems. We got big time digestive problems. So people wonder why they so backed up, wonder why they so angry and frustrated, man. Just look at the amount of meat that we consume. Look at the amount of meat that we consume. Look at the amount of meat that we consume, and we wonder why we so backed up, frustrated, angry, headaches all over the place, man. We just, digestive system is done, man. It's tired, it's tapped out, it's maxed out. Can't work no more. It's done. It's done. Yeah, D Monty, man. Like I said, man, fasting is age old, man. You go back, you study all periods of history, you're gonna find fasting. You're gonna find fasting, but you got a lot of health experts out here, man, that when you bring up fasting, they tell you don't do it. You don't need to do that. Don't fast, don't starve yourself. That's the biggest myth when it comes to fasting, is that you are starving yourself. That is literally not what's happening. And this is just evolution. The body is all wise and intelligent. That's the reason why we store. It's the reason why your body stores fat. That's the reason why your body stores things, man. That's the reason why the body does that. Because the body is programmed to go periods without eating. Because that's what our ancestors had to do. They had to go periods without eating. Hence why the body stores things. That's why your body does that. So literally, that is not what's happening when you fast, especially for 24 hours. You are not starving yourself. I cannot stand when people say that. You're not starving yourself by not eating for 24 hours. It's not happening. Oh, mahogany, yeah, the meat and dairy industry, man, they got a grip on the FDA. Big grip. Big grip. A lot of money involved there, man. It's a lot of people that know the truth about meat, but they out here teaching otherwise because they being paid by the meat and dairy industry. Jamar, peace. What's going on with you, my brother? Oh yeah, Jamal. We got way too many sick people. And like I tell people, common sense. If we sick, then I'm gonna look at what's the most popular foods. Fruits and vegetables are not the most popular foods. So if I tell people to up their intake of fruits and vegetables, how is that harmful? How is that harmful? When I'm looking at everybody's plate and they got some form of meat on there, they got some dairy in there, you know, they got cheese and, you know, they eating eggs on a daily basis. I'm telling people to stay away from that. How is that the problem? I'm the problem. I'm the enemy when I tell people to stay away from the popular foods, the foods that's leading us to the early graves. D Monty, man, but hey, I'm slowly but surely. That's part of my work, man. Mostly everybody that I train, a lot of them are striving to make the transition to like veganism, plant-based lifestyle. So I got to start keeping my head on the swivel because you know when you start encouraging your people, especially black folks, when you start getting a lot of black people on board in regards to health, man, they come after you. They try to shut your establishment down and things of that nature. They try to destroy your licenses and your certifications and all of that. So I got to keep my head on the swivel because when they start seeing a lot of people in my area transitioning to the vegan lifestyle or the plant-based lifestyle, they finna be like, what's going on here? What's happening? Thunder Scorpion, you got it, man. It's a process. It's a process. TZ Frank, yeah, Carrie Williams. And the reason why I like this Dr. Sebi Bible book is because I think she said she was dealing with high blood pressure. So she was writing this book based off of her testimony. She had the high blood pressure and it was the normal routine. She was going to the doctor. Doctor was giving her the medication. Medication wasn't working. She would go back, get a stronger dose, stronger prescription. She was tired of it. So she did her own independent research and she ended up reversing her condition via studying Dr. Sebi and implementing his lifestyle. Not 100% because she said she still had cheat days, but she ended up getting her blood pressure down. Say she felt the best she ever felt just by researching on her own outside of what her doctor was telling her. And then following that lifestyle about 95%, it looks like. So it's like I like books like that because this person lived out the lifestyle and they writing about their experience. You can't beat that. Yeah, the person that wrote the book may not be a physician, may not be a doctor, but it's a lot of doctors out here that's writing health books that don't even live the lifestyle that they trying to teach people to live. So I'd rather somebody that ain't got no qualification that did their research and followed the lifestyle and reap the benefits of it, write a book. So I be liking books like that. Oh yeah, mahogany, man. Milk is one of the most destructive consuming. Laced with sugar, fat, destroys your bones. But again, that's one of two things. People be like, man, how you gonna get your protein? Then secondly, they be like, dag, man, how you gonna get your calcium? Your bones gonna be weak because you're not drinking the milk. It's like, come on, man. All of the plant-based milks these days, which they call fortified, but all your unsweetened almond milk, your oat milk, they lace with just as much calcium as your cow's milk, man, and a lot healthier for you. So we not worried about calcium, man. You can easily go to the plant-based milk and you getting your calcium in, you strengthening your bones. Just that simple. Jacoby, get it in. Mike Ellie is you can't tell some of them anything. I've had quite a few sisters, man, that listened to what I was saying in regards to watching what they would be consuming while pregnant. So it's a lot. And I'm gonna give you a prime example, Mike, of why what you said is not 100% accurate. The person that wrote this book about Dr. Sebi, so black woman. It wasn't a black man, it's a black woman that did the knowledge to Dr. Sebi's lifestyle and wrote the book based on her experience. So you got plenty of black women that's listening, that's willing to implement and do. From my experience, not even gonna lie to you, from my experience in health and fitness as a personal trainer, I have a harder time telling black men what to do in regards to changing their habits than black women. I'm gonna just be 100% honest. I have a harder time getting my brothers to stop doing certain things. It's that ego getting to play. Imagine trying to tell a black man not to eat meat. The average black man. Man, we done been brought up that's real man food. That's man food. So it's a lot of stubborn black men out here. So we can't just put all that on black women. It's a lot of stubborn black men that try to get them to stop eating the meat, the dairy, and stop drinking the alcohol or the beer. That's a hard task. I've had more sisters listen to what I was saying and try to make the transition to the vegan lifestyle opposed to brothers. Man, they stubborn. So my experience has been the total opposite. I got more sisters open to what I'm saying than brothers. Brothers like, nah, I'm finna eat this meat. I ain't finna do that. You got me out here eating like a rabbit. I need real food. That's the type of stuff that they say. For the most part, all women tell me the same thing, that they don't really need meat like that. A lot of them already don't necessarily eat a lot of it. Men, we eat a lot more meat. And the book I got on veganism actually bears witness to that, because they did a lot of studies on men and women in regards to the benefits of transitioning to the vegan lifestyle in regards to certain diseases and ailments. What happened was they found that it was more beneficial for the men to go vegan in regards to certain ailments like cancer, heart disease, diabetes. Why? Because they said men typically consume more meat than women. So they was like, the women didn't see that much of an increase in their health because a lot of them didn't even eat that much meat in the first place. So that's why some of their numbers were not necessarily that high in regards to like the improvement, because a lot of them wasn't consuming a lot of meat anyway. But the brothers were overly consuming the meat. So when a brother transitions to the vegan lifestyle, it's going to serve him way better than a woman, because she's not eating as much meat and she's not eating as much typically as the man. So it'll serve the males it'll serve the males better to make that transition. So my brothers, we are the ones that really need to make the transition, because it serves us a lot better because we typically eat more and we typically eat more meat. The ones that do eat meat. Yeah, D Monty, I have seen I've heard of Subways with some drive-throughs. Terenzo, you already know how we see that good without the O. You already know. Mike Ellie, everybody already fast. Like when you go to sleep and you wake up, when you eat, what is that meal called, Mike? When you go to sleep, Mike, and you wake up and you eat your first meal of the day, what is that meal called, Mike? It's called breakfast. You are literally breaking a fast every time that you go to sleep. Everybody already fast. It's a matter of how long you do it. So everybody can fast. That is a myth. Everybody can do that, minus the pregnant women. And the pregnant women can do it. They would just have to do like smoothie fast, juice fast, and things of that nature. But when you're not carrying a child, everybody can literally do it, because we all do it anyway. Going to sleep, waking up, you eat a meal called breakfast, literally. So again, you can't go based off of what what they have got you, what they have brainwashed you into believing. Varin B9, what you say? You say any tips on trying to eat right, especially since all the healthy food. Varin, I'm gonna go back to Elijah Muhammad book. 1 meal a day. That's very inexpensive. When you consume 1 meal every 24 hours, just make sure it's well balanced. That's very inexpensive. You're not about to spend a lot of money on food when you're getting that 1 meal in a day. And maybe a smoothie in here and there. But 1 meal a day is inexpensive because you're not trying to eat 3 meals a day. But when you eat properly, when you eat the proper way, it's not really that expensive, actually. What's happening is, this is what's happening. This is why eating healthy or going vegan has now become expensive, because that's what they doing. They making money off of the fake meat. That type of stuff is expensive. When you get like the Beyond Meat in the store, like that stuff is like $10 a pop. That type of stuff is expensive. But when you literally buy like your fruits and your veggies, like you're not really about to be spending that much money, man. But when you start buying a lot of these vegan, the vegan meat, the vegan cookies and all that type of stuff, man, that type of stuff is actually expensive. But when you buy like your beans and you buy your fruits and you buy your veggies, for the most part, you're not about to spend that much money. You're not about to spend that much money. Mike, check with some of the same doctors. For one, a lot of the same doctors that you finna check with, they overweight, they obese. Some of these same doctors got diabetes. Some of these same doctors got heart problems. Come on now. Some of these same doctors are telling people that CMOS is fake. Some of these same doctors then told people that they got muscle spasm or back spasms when they done had cancer. Some of these same doctors that then just ask the person how they feeling, and the person say they good and they passing for a physical. So you saying check with these same doctors before I fast? Come on now, you the best knower of yourself. But I know that this is knowledge that's not popular. I know that they done told you that you got to check with a doctor, that this doctor knows all. So I ain't mad at you for believing that. But once you do the knowledge to your body, and once you do the knowledge to fasting, once you study fasting, study the proper way to eat, then you ain't got to consult nobody but yourself, because you the best knower of yourself. Nobody knows your body better than you. There is no, listen, no doctor knows your body better than you, contrary to what they got you believing out here. All that doctor is able to do for you is to tell you what to take for your headache. If these doctors were so good at their job, why are we so sick as a country? If these doctors were so good at their job, why are they responsible for, the last time I checked, over 250,000 deaths a year? If these doctors were so good at their job and so trustworthy, why is iatrogenic deaths, which is a medical error, why is that one of the leading causes of death? Why is that in the top 10? Medical errors is in the top 10. The top 10 in regards to the causes of death of people in this country. But you telling me to consult with a doctor? Come on, man. They responsible for, they responsible for over 250,000 deaths a year, yet I'm supposed to trust them. Medical errors responsible for over 250,000 people dying a year. Medical error. Medical errors. Come on now. But we supposed to trust these people. I done had plenty of people go to the doctor, blood clot, surgery. They do the surgery on the leg. Then next thing you know, they dead. Come on now. We know that they die from complications of the surgery, but guess what? Since they don't want to get the lawsuit, they blaming the person. They blaming it. They say the person was obese or overweight. That's why they died. They had nothing to do with the complication from the surgery. This is stuff that happens. We can't make this up. Just like this book about Dr. Sadie. She said she went to the doctor. Man, I can read y'all the testimony. Y'all know we gonna bring up sources here, man, because I don't, we gonna read testimonies. Listen, man, we gonna read this, man. I get right to the sources. I don't got time for that. We get right to the sources. This is the book, Dr. Sebi Bible. I was diagnosed with high blood pressure in April 2015. I was barely 30. Blood pressure readings were fluctuating in a range between 169 over 110 to 145 over 100. Then she was placed on some medication. that she had to take twice daily. I practically lived with hypertension, even while on medication. I felt I was never going to get cured of it. I asked myself, why me? I mean, I'm not that old. I was taking my meds, but my blood pressure only seemed to improve in the mornings on waking up. My daytime and nighttime blood pressure readings were still overboard despite medicating. Come on now. These are the doctors that we trusted. And I wondered if the drugs actually worked. I had to approach my doctor a year after for a change of meds since they seemed not to be working. Prescription was changed and still not a significant improvement was noted. The major problem was my systolic blood pressure. So come on now. We trust in these doctors, man. I'm gonna skip down when she said in 2017, I followed the Dr. Sebi diet religiously. And in exactly 18 weeks, I got my blood pressure reversed to 112 over 72. Not only was my blood pressure lowered, cholesterol and lipoprotein markers also improved. I lost about 26 pounds in those 18 weeks as well. My readings have been normal ever since. This is despite going on cheat days, unfortunately, but I still try to make my diet at least 95% Dr. Sebi approved. It wasn't quite easy when starting out, especially with the strict restrictions, but I wouldn't trade anything for my health and peace of mind. So come on now. Come on now. This is telling you where the true health is, where the true health lies. It's not with these doctors. Now, you may have some doctors that do their own research outside of what they have been brainwashed to tell people, but it's not a lot of them, man. You got to find you a holistic practitioner out here. That's the only person I'm trusting. Somebody that's into the holistic lifestyle. That's about it. Other than that, you got to do your own research, study your own body, and you got to experiment. It's the only thing that you can do out here. That's the only thing that you can do out here. Joy the Serpent, what you say? You say, have I been antisocial amongst my own family because my own family looking at me sideways because I'm in the process of elevating my life? Not gonna lie to you, Joy the Serpent. Not gonna lie to you. When I first started to transition, to a healthier lifestyle, I kind of did distance myself from family. Why? Because I had to remove myself from triggers. That's a way to break a habit. So if you striving to stay away from like meat, if you striving to eliminate the meat from your life, the dairy from your life, then you can't be around certain environments, certain foods that trigger you. So a lot of times I had to kind of stay away from family functions and gatherings because I wasn't trying. Those were triggers. When I was at a family function or a gathering, I tended to overindulge in the wrong foods or the foods that I was trying to stay away from. So naturally, I started to distance myself because I was like, man, instead of going out with y'all, I'm like, I'm not even going to do it because if I do it, I feel like I'm going to eat the wrong food. So I had to do that in order to protect my health and my sanity. So I naturally started to distance myself. And then just by default, man, when you start embracing a totally different way of life from everybody around you, it's going to be hard for y'all to connect on that same level that y'all once connected on. So in that regards, it was like a natural distance that occurred, man. So now I would tell you that the relationship with my people is not the same as it was because you can see it. They try not to bring up certain things when I'm around because they know how I feel about it. They know what I'm going to say about it. So it's like, I feel like the transparency is not really there because they don't want me to. Because I ain't gonna lie, man. I told people, I said on Facebook, man, I got a temper. So it's like when I see my people eating the wrong thing or when I see them say the wrong thing about what they eating, then normally I would lash out and correct that real quick. I didn't kind of cooled out on it, man, because that's a little bit stressful worrying about what everybody else is doing. You can't control that. But it's like I feel like at times, man, they try not to bring up certain topics around me because they know how I'm going to get. And I don't feel like that's cool. I don't like that, man. I don't like people to feel like they can't talk about what they eating around me because they think that I'm about to start talking about veganism and going plant-based and stuff like that, man. That's uncomfortable. You should be able to talk about these things around your son, your brother, or you know what I'm saying? You should be able to do that, your cousin. Like you should be able to do that, man. You should be able to have your cousin tell you some healthy things, man, some healthy change that you can make without you feeling some type of way. You should be able to have your son tell you or suggest healthier alternatives without you feeling a certain type of way. Like, you should just be able to do that. But I know that that's not reality. So I wrestle with that a lot, just watching people that's close to me do things that I'm not too fond of, but I'm trying not to say nothing because I don't want to trespass on their life like that, because I can't control it. Can't control what they do. I done already thrown the information out there. I done already thrown the information, so I did my part, man. So now I just keep to myself a lot, man. I'm not really as social as I used to be around my peoples, man, because at the end of the day, I understand that you can't change people. You can't control what they do. You can only throw the information out there, make suggestions and recommendations. It gets stressful, it gets tedious, it's bad on your health when you start worrying about what your mom Dukes is eating, what your pops is eating, what your sister is eating, what your brother is eating. You start neglecting your own health. So I just focus on myself and I just keep it simple, man. I don't really go too crazy when I'm around my people, man. I don't really be talking about a lot when I'm around them, man, because I don't have time for that energy sometimes. The energy gets awkward, man, so I don't have time for that. And Jacoby, yeah, that nutmeg got some decent benefits to it. I don't necessarily consume it like that. Yeah, uniquely Amani, there it go. Tony Briscoe, you got it. Light work. C, what's up? But yeah, light work, Tony, man, you got that. 21-day fruit fast, that's nothing. That's light. Like they say, we frugivores by nature. So you actually eating according to your nature. So you got it. It's light. Oh, Justin, man, I got a few books on fasting. I got a few books on fasting. Let me see. I would grab them. I don't got any of them behind me, man. I got a few books on fasting. Let me see. I can bring them up real quick, man. Let me look them up. Y'all know. I like to give y'all. I like to give y'all the exact title of the books, man, so y'all can grab these joints. But I got one book is Feast, Fast, and Repeat. That's a pretty decent book on fasting. Feast, Fast, Repeat. And another good book on fasting is The Complete Guide to Fasting by Dr. Jason Fung. And then to go deeper with it, we can start studying like Arnold Ehret, the Mucusless Diet Healing System. They talk about fasting. So Mucusless Diet Healing System by Arnold Ehret, that's a good one. And then another good book too, Alkaline Plant-Based Diet, Reversing Disease and Saving the Planet with an Alkaline Plant-Based Diet. That's a good one. Rational Fasting by Arnold Ehret. That's another good one. So those are some good books that touch on fasting. Antoinette, Peace Queen, what's going on? TZ Frank, and you not gonna see it. Mike, at this point, it's safe to assume that you working for the people or something. You working for the feds. So at this point, you are now ignored. Aim or fix, man. You already know how I go. You already know how I go. Mike Ellie, it ain't it ain't about. See, Mike, I think what you missing is it ain't about stuff being true. Fasting is a natural part of life, and it has always been a natural part of life in regards to fasting. Chicken, no. Egg, no. Don't necessarily need them. And the reason why I say that, When you break down a chicken, when you break down the egg, you got to ask yourself, why are they telling you to eat the egg? Why are they telling you to eat the chicken? What are they telling you that you are getting from the egg? And what are they telling you that you are getting from the chicken? All of that they are telling you that you are getting from the egg and the chicken, you can get them from healthier sources. And it's not toxic and it's not acidic. Yeah, Terrell, we already know. We know who they working for. We know who the Western doctor is working for, man. That's why you cannot trust them, sadly to say. Because again, the world would be in as much as people around here go to the doctor, as much as people around here stay sick and go to the doctor, yo, like the world would be a better place if they actually knew what they was doing. The world would be a lot better. Herx, I would take the lentils over the actual lentil pasta. And with the lentils, they recommend you sprout the joint, soak them overnight in the water to activate the enzymes. That's the best way to eat the lentils. But I would opt for the actual lentils instead of the lentil pasta. Now, the lentil pasta is a healthier version of a pasta to consume. But if you're trying to lose weight, then I would stay away from pastas in general. If you're striving to lose weight, no matter the pasta. Variant B9, man, you ain't gonna starve, yo. You got to understand how wise and intelligent that body is, man. That's why the body stores certain things. That's why the body stores certain things. The only vitamins that you really need to make sure that you consume it on a daily basis, because the body doesn't store these vitamins. You got to make sure you getting what is it? I think it's all the B vitamins and then vitamin C. All the B vitamins and vitamin C, I believe you need to make sure you consuming them on a daily basis. So even if you fast and you can take like a little supplement, like a little vitamin C supplement and a vitamin B complex supplement and things of that nature to make sure you replenishing those vitamins, because we get rid of those vitamins on a daily basis. The body does not store those particular vitamins. Here we go again. I'll finna answer some. Yeah, CC. Hey, like I said, people don't, and I'm gonna just show y'all. See, this is the problem when it comes to a lot of this health information, man, because they contradicted themselves a million times. At one minute, eggs were a problem, and they let you know that eggs were a problem. They let you know that eggs contributed to high cholesterol. Then next thing you know, eggs are not the problem. So they say. So they didn't flip-flop like that several times. Just like back in the day, fat used to be the villain. Now carbs are the villain. I guarantee you in another 30 years or so, protein is going to be the villain. Like, it's a cycle, man. So every 20, 30, 40, 50 years, man, the villain changes. Have y'all noticed that? Back in the day, carbs were not the problem. It was fat. Fat was the villain. It was like, low fat, low fat, low fat. Now fat is not the villain, it's carb. So it's low carb, low carb, low carb. Guess what, though? Health ain't improving. Health ain't improving. So in 30, 40 years, then it's going to be low protein. Like, that's going to be the new villain. So the villain changes. Just show you how confused they are, and to show you just how they misdirect and miseducating the people, man. Why is the villain changing? It's not really that confusing. Oh, Ricky, man. Hey, and I applaud my people, man, that's striving to make the transition, because it's hard out here, man. It's hard out here when you literally will become the black sheep in the fam by default once you transition to the healthier life. I don't know a full black family of vegans, raw foodists, plant-based eaters. Don't know it. So when you strive to make the transition, black sheep by default. It may be like when I did it, I was literally the only one that I know of in my family that ate that way. But since doing it, I've had a few of my younger cousins strive to make the transition or at least try it out. So again, the youth is watching. Mind you, listen to what I said. When I made the transition, the people in my family that at least paid attention, the younger cousins, not the older folks, not the elders. They not trying to get out of their bad habits. But my younger cousins were watching. They like, hey, dude ain't eating his meat. I'm finna rock with him real quick. So now when they got a little older, they start transitioning, going vegan for months at a time. That's what you do it for, man. That's how you break the cycle. When you make the sacrifice, man, you doing that for the younger people in your family. Man, I had my nephew. My nephew was like, he trying not to eat meat. It's my nephew now. So this is what you doing it for. I ain't doing it to try to change these adults' mind because that's hard. You stuck in your ways at this point. But when you can touch your little cousin, your nephew, your niece, your younger brother, like when you can touch them, you breaking that cycle. You breaking that cycle. You breaking that cycle. But you gonna be the black sheep. Unless you was fortunate enough to grow up in a family of vegans like that, that's rare in the black community. But you're gonna be going against that grain. And that grain is powerful. People say it's lonely at the top. Listen, it's lonely being healthy. Like it's lonely being healthy in the fam. Because you can't relate to people when they talking about they foot hurt, they got gout, they back hurt, they walk up the steps and they out of breath. Like all you know about is, man, I feel good. Like, you know what I mean? How many times have you been around your family and everybody talking about how good they feel, how much energy they have? How many times have y'all went to a function and everybody talking about, man, I feel like I can run a lap. I'm ready to work out. How many times has that been the case when 90% of your family, when y'all was at a gathering, was just talking about how good y'all feel? Now you hearing people talking about they tired, they stressed. That's what we started talking about. So I can't relate to all that. I'm like, man, they be like, how you feel? I be like, I'm good. Y'all done ate that Thanksgiving meal and y'all ready to go to sleep on the couch. I ate what I ate and I'm ready to run. I'm ready to work out. I got energy. So I can't relate to disease. I can't relate to death. I can't relate to that. Can't relate to that, man. Can't relate to it. And I don't want to relate to it. Yeah, D Monty. Now, right now, the science is saying that even when you transition to the fake meat, it's healthier than the actual meat. But that's just letting you know how garbage meat is for you. Because they got like light studies, small studies, man, in regards to people who have transitioned to the meat analogs, as they call them. And they have studied them people compared to the people that consume actual meat. The people that consume the meat analogs, they still fare better than the people who actually consume meat. That's just letting you know that how garbage the meat is. That's just all that's telling you. That's all. That's the indication of that meat is garbage. When you eating the fake meat out here, the fake meat that they call it, and you still faring better. But in the long run, who knows how them studies may change. CC, you already know, keeping us sick, man, that's a $1 trillion industry. MCJ Rocker, peace, what's going on? D Monty, man, of that 250K, man, I guarantee you at least 200K of it, Black Latino, guarantee you at least 200,000. Every K, you know, I guarantee you that. Guarantee you that. But iatrogenic deaths, man, that's medical errors. That's what, man, I'm telling you, I got a phobia with them doctors, man. I've literally watched them misdiagnose people, literally. Several people. I've literally watched it happen. To the point where when the cancer they was too far gone, but they told them they had muscle spasms and was giving them muscle relaxers. Whole time they got cancer. Whole time that person got cancer. Whole time they losing weight right in front of you. So whole time their symptoms are indicating that it's something a lot more deeper than muscle spasms, but you keep giving them muscle relaxers. Next thing you know, full-blown cancer. And it's too late to even treat it at that point, in my mind, because I hadn't been doing the knowledge to health yet. not knowing that it still could have been reversed. But I watched them do that to my uncle, man. Muscle spasms. Next thing you know, dude, full blown cancer, and he got about 3-4 months to live. So it's like, nah, man, I ain't got time for that, man. I literally watched them do that, man. I watched them convince people that when they got gout, for one, they have given them medication for the gout. And gout is so simple to prevent. All you gotta do is lay off the meat and the alcohol. But I've had them convince people that cheese is the only problem with gout. Cheese is a problem, but if you eliminate the cheese and you still drinking your beer and eating meat, gout ain't gonna go nowhere. So I've seen all type of incorrect information for certain ailments, man. But then they just give you the medication. Like gout, you can literally look up gout and diet, and you can literally see what causes gout. And it's directly related to what you are consuming. You can literally see that with the uric acid. You can literally see that the meat causes the uric acid along with the alcohol. And that is what causes gout. You can literally read that. Like, it's not something that I'm making up. You can literally do the knowledge to that. But when you go to the doctor, they're not telling you to lay off of the things that cause the uric acid. Yeah, plant God fasting can reverse almost everything, man, literally. Especially if you start doing, like if you start juicing and stuff like that, supplying your body with what it needs via a fast. So like a juice fast is powerful in regards to reversing ailments. Like the dude that I read about, Roger's recovery from AIDS. That's what they did, a juice fast, reversed AIDS via juice fast and just changed his environment up. His environment was more peaceful. Juice fast, he got more rest, got sunshine. That's how they reversed AIDS via juice fast. So, man, fasting can reverse any and everything, man. That's the natural medication right there. That's what we naturally gonna strive to do. When you sick, you don't want to eat. You want to rest. But they have convinced us that when you sick, you need to eat. Just look at animals in nature. When they sick, they're not trying to eat. They're trying to rest. But we have been taught, we have been brainwashed to say, oh, man, I'm sick. I don't feel good. I got to eat something. That's incorrect, man. Your body needs to rest more than it needs to eat when you're not feeling good. Oh, Denisha G, that book is a jewel. So you about to get some jewels in that particular book. First few pages. Wait till you finish the whole entire book. Yeah, Terrell, and that's what I talk about, man. I tell people that. Layla Africa talks about that. Muatai Ashby, the Kemetic diet. He lets you know that. He was like, man, we really not designed to eat the same way that the European eats. We just not designed to do that. Yet we are eating the same way that the European eat. And again, a lot of people want to say that's racist, which again, no, it's not. We can't be racist. But all that is stating is a fact. We are eating in a way that's unnatural to us. We are eating in a way that's natural to them. And then we go and by some of their standards. Even as a trainer, we go by things like BMI. I can't stand BMI. BMI is not something that I use to measure the progress of my Black clients, because it's a lot of things that are not factored in when it comes to BMI. Black women gonna have more body mass than the white woman. Ain't nothing wrong with that, long as you chop the body fat down. But we gonna have more mass naturally. So that's one of those European standards and European metrics that I don't like. I discard. I don't fool with BMI like that. I don't fool with it like that. I just deal with the body fat. So we do a lot of things. We utilize a lot of European metrics to measure our progress and our health. And that's incorrect. We just not designed to be eating like they eat. It's just not how we were wired and designed. So we got to be eating an entirely different way. And people don't want to talk about that. And the way that we are designed to primarily eat is more so plant-based. That's the natural diet or regimen for us. Oh, Sean, man, these doctors, I wouldn't be surprised if they did a study on doctors and the average person in America, and they found that their health was neck and neck in regards to being the worst. These doctors don't be in better health than the people that they treat. Sometimes they be in worse condition than the people that they treat. Monty, you already know. It's also in some of their religions to fast as well. And they don't do that. That's what's crazy. Plant God only. Rude boy, when you say does the mind conspire to illnesses, man, what you mean? Because that's not the mind or the body doesn't naturally strive to be ill or sick. The mind or the body naturally strives to be balanced out. So it wants to rid itself of illnesses and diseases. Hence why we got certain things like inflammation, man. People don't understand that some of these things are actually a good sign of showing that the body is working. It's a defense mechanism. But the body, its natural state is balanced, homeostasis, slightly alkaline. That's the natural state of the body. Anything that's ill, anything that's a sickness, anything that's a dis-ease is abnormal, it's unnatural. It's not normal, it's not natural for the body, it's a defect. It's a problem, it's an imbalance. Yeah, Mahogany, and it's that simple. When a lot of people come to me for some situations that they're dealing with, I'm like, sometimes the best advice is to not eat. And I tell people this all the time. People have told me about bad decisions that they have made in regards to food choices. They was like, man, I ain't had nothing, like it wasn't nothing where I was at but this McDonald's, so I got me these fries. I said, man, hey, it was better to not eat than to eat the McDonald's. So sometimes that's what it is. Sometimes it's better to not eat than to eat the garbage. R.D. Monty, not speaking. The monks, they are notorious for that. They take that oath of silence. The monks do that. That's their religion. They take that oath of silence. They don't believe in mindless chat. Like they don't believe in gossip and things of that nature, man. So they take that oath of silence. They speak with a purpose. Like if they speak it, they mean it. They not out here just gossiping and all that type of nonsense. The monks, they gonna take that oath of silence. They speak when they have something to say. Oh, Miss Donnie, yeah. Talking about the tracks I laid down. That was back in the day. Back in the day. Snuggle 668, appreciate the donation. And you say, do I understand the connection between science and politics? Man, that's a deep, not a deep question, but that can go a lot of different ways because there are a lot of connections between science and politics. A lot of connections, man. And I say this all the time. Everything is political. Everything is politics. And a lot of people think science, see, when people hear people say people deal with science, people don't understand that scientists have been bought off as well. Everybody has a price. So people don't understand that it's scientists out here that's misleading people because they have been paid to do so. I done quoted a few things in some books that I have about scientists pushing the wrong information intentionally because they have been paid by certain industries to do so. So sometimes you can't even trust something just because it says it's science. So they have fabricated science. They have corrupted science as well. That would be what I would call pseudo science, the stuff that they have done with science. So sometimes when they bring their scientists out here to let you know why it's beneficial to go on a keto diet, then you got to understand who just funded that information. Meat industry, egg industry, dairy industry. They have funded that. So of course, the people that's writing about it, the scientists that's speaking about it, like, of course, they gonna back the people that's funding them. They gonna put out information that support the industries that's funding them. That's what you're gonna do. If the meat, dairy, and egg industry is paying you, you're not about to come out here and tell people to not consume it. You about to tell people to consume it, and you about to give them a bunch of reasons why. Gonna fabricate some information and label it science. So that's why you are able to pull up a lot of so-called scientific articles to validate why you should eat certain foods that you're not really supposed to eat, because these sciences have been bought off by the political giants in the food industry. Hey, Sean, appreciate that donation. And the wife is in the building, y'all. Y'all already said peace to her, so we ain't even gotta say that this time. Sharifman, generational health. That's the new wave, man. Generational wealth. Generational wealth is nothing without health. So we just skipped over health and we went right over to generational wealth. So we out here trying to teach the next generation about wealth, but yet we ain't teaching them how to stay healthy. So why are we gonna teach them about health if they're not gonna live long enough and a good quality life to enjoy the wealth? So we can't skip generational health. We got to start with generational health before we get to the generational wealth. You want to be able to enjoy the wealth. The only way you can enjoy the wealth is through the health. So we got to practice generational health before we practice generational anything else. That's why I said that. Heck, this might be a term or concept that becomes popular, but note that y'all possibly heard it here first. So if y'all see somebody roll with it, question where they got it from, because I ain't heard nobody else say it. Man, Thunder Scorpion, I ain't been to ATL in a minute. Yeah, Thunder Scorpion, and that's the thing with the fam. See, the fam, that's a hard situation, because it's like at the end of the day, you know, if your moms is in your life, you're gonna deal with mom dudes. If your pops is in your life, you're gonna deal with pops. If your brother and sister, like if y'all got decent, you're gonna deal with them. So you're not just gonna disown your people because you stop eating meat and they still eating it. But it just becomes complicated in regards to dealing with them, man. It could get frustrating sometimes, man, especially when they make a mockery of it and stuff like that. Or you just even paying attention to what they put in their body, and you just know that it's like, come on, yo. You got this gout, you got this condition, but you still eating this nonsense, these fried foods, this processed food. Stop. But you know you can't control it. So you gotta stop yourself, man, before you find yourself preaching to them. RCC, meat is death. That's what it is. I mean, that's literally what you eat. I mean, it ain't no if and buts about it. When you are consuming meat, that is literally what you are eating. Like, you are eating something that's dead, something that had to die for you to eat it, literally. Like, literally, that is what you are consuming. Like, it's just ain't no way around it. Yeah, Thunder Scorpion. Some people be ready for it when what they say though. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So again, when they ready, that teacher gonna appear to them. Yeah, D Monty, and then from there we gonna go to growing your own food. D Monty, they still listen. D Monty, when it comes to doctors and older folks, they still do that. Matter of fact, they got it so bad now. It's more so on black men. They be like, y'all know black men don't like to go to the doctor. So like we got this stigma that we don't like to go to the doctor type deal, as if that's a negative thing. It's only a negative thing when you don't take care of yourself as a black man. But they make it say, oh man, y'all don't go to the doctor. Y'all black men don't go to the doctor. They have made we stigmatized with that. But it's like, that's a bad thing. Like I said, only if you don't take care of yourself. When you take care of yourself, what's the need for? What's the need for? You know how many times, listen, I used to go to the doctor a lot, man. You know how many times I came out of the doctor not knowing what's wrong with me? a lot. So I gave them plenty of chances. Man, Thunder Scorpion, man, I think I may have went like 3 days. But man, I'm looking to take my lifestyle to the next level, man. Like I'm looking to take everything to the next level, man. That's why I got some good material that I'm diving into, man. And I'm just about to do some experimenting with myself. So I'm looking to take everything to the next level. I know that I can feel a lot better. I know that I can be a lot better in regards to the way that I eat. Made the step to veganism, but man, that still ain't it. We want to get better and deeper than that. Justin Green, frying water, man. What? Frying water? What is going on here? That don't even no sir. Frying water. That's a new one right there. That's a new one for me. Rude boy, hey, black seed oil is peace. Get that black seed oil in. I got some herbs, man, that I'm gonna start experimenting with that I'm gonna bring to the surface to y'all, man, once I experiment with them, man. I got like some little herbs that I'm like doing the knowledge to, some new joints that a lot of people don't know about. So, but I gotta experiment with them first just to kind of let y'all know yay or nay. I got some little supplements, little herbs and whatnot that I'm about to start experimenting with. Kevin, it ain't nothing wrong with making your smoothies that's fruit based also. Ain't nothing wrong with the fruit based smoothies. And then on top of on olive oil too, another trick too, to just help like cleanse the system. But this helps with a lot though. But before you go to sleep, 2 tablespoons of olive oil with lemon and some water right before you go to sleep. Little squig of water, lemon, 2 tablespoons of olive oil. You say, Denisha, what are the best foods to consume for people with eczema? Oh, when we talking about skin, see, skin is when you really want to focus on the raw fruits and the veggies and water. So you definitely want to get your raw fruits and your raw veggies in with a lot of water when we talking about eczema. Because I can tell you one thing, I ain't necessarily had eczema like that, but I did have skin problems. Like I broke out a lot, all of it. Like my skin is real sensitive, things of that nature. So every time I get my water in and I get more raw fruits and veggies in, clears it right up. Clears it right up. But when you focus on going about 85% raw foods with just getting that water in on a daily basis, that'll help that eczema. And then on top of that, it's more so stuff to stay away from too. When it comes to the eczema. So you really want to make sure you stand away from what they call the refined carbs, the artificial sugar and things of that nature that contributes to the eczema. And you definitely want to stay away or want her to stay away from the dairy products and the meat, man. Anything that's creating that toxic load in the system, want to stay away from it. Anything that's acidic, want to stay away from it. Airview, peace. What's going on? D Monty, you already. I wasn't even thinking of it when I made the title, but now that y'all had a few people that said generational health, that sound good, man. I'm gonna have to go ahead and do something with that before people run off with it, man. You know how people do it. Guess it'll be somebody white. Y'all look up on the white site and you will see generational health, and they'll roll with it. I might make that listen. I might make that the name of the. I might create the podcast and this generational health. I just might do that. get my person that make my logos, get her to make the logo, trademark it, and then that's it. Mahogany Honey, you pretty much saying all the advice that I just that I just dropped on them. Yeah, Shine Steve, fried water. That's can't eat food with it. We can't fool with the fried water, yo. Yeah, fried water, that sounds all bad. But speaking of that, yo, man, I done about served my time. I done served my purpose for the day, man. This was a nice, positive, and powerful stream, man. I was supposed to get on here yesterday, man, but I was so tired. I ended up falling asleep, man. Couldn't even do it. But this was a good stream. Like I said, man, we starting to focus a lot more on health and wellness, man. Just fitness information, nutrition information, man. That's more so my focus now, trying to, as we said, build that generational health. Trying to get everybody right and exact, man, mentally and physically. So that's more of the focus. So a lot of the content is revolving around that health and that wellness information. So we about to get y'all right and exact. All you got to do is pay attention and implement and experiment. But this was a nice stream, man. I appreciate y'all tapping in and tuning in with your boy. I'm about to get out of here, man. Get some things done. Yeah, CC, that's what I about to focus on that, man. About to rest up, chill out before I got to get back up to this gym, man, and train some people. But it was peace, man, interacting with you all. Appreciate all the comments, the donations, the questions, etc., etc. I'm out, y'all. Y'all enjoy the rest of this Wednesday. Y'all be easy out here, y'all. Peace. See y'all tomorrow.